You mentioned the Spanish Immersion Program in your last answer. The Spanish Immersion Program was continued by the district mainly for budgetary reasons. There was a movement by the parents of the Spanish Immersion kids to raise the money for the program to extend it for at least 1 year. Now, do you think that would have been a viable approach to continue the program at least for 1 more year? And do you think that the Spanish Immersion Program is something that the district should be offering?
So I took Spanish basically my entire life, except for 1 year where I got crazy and took French in high school. I went to the University of Miami, so a lot of people speak Spanish in Miami. I value language. I especially value Spanish in Texas. It's commonly spoken. So I love the idea of our kiddos learning Spanish. Unfortunately, the program that we had, and I am on record, at a million board meetings, talking about how we can improve our Spanish immersion program. And while it was beloved, it was not without problems. And then given the amount of money that it costs to continue to improve the program, to bring it up to the Eanes standard, and then, to continue it was just a lot of money. And so when the board asked for different options of things that were about $500,000 or more that we should look at, that was one of the things that our CFO and our superintendent brought to us to look at. So we looked at it. So do I think that the pledges were viable? Unfortunately, we can't take IOUs to run the district. And so while I appreciate that people wanted to pledge that money, we get promises all the time. We've had promises on safety and security and funding this or that. Like, these things pop up all the time. And unfortunately, they don't always materialize. And so as a fiduciary of the school district, it would not be responsible of me to extend a program for another year and give people false hope when it's just something that it just costs too much and it's not a strong enough program that we can brand as an Eanes program that's really going to help kids. So I would love to look at Spanish in other ways, maybe after school clubs or at lunch. We used to have lunch bunch when my kids were in elementary school, where the kiddos would have lunch and have a Spanish class at the same time. I think there's a lot of different options. Maybe it's a specials option where we have art, PE, music, and Spanish. I think there are other ways that we can look at it, but unfortunately, the one that we had is now off the table.